Good morning, welcome back to Coryton. I did say I'd be coming back and walking in that direction, which is what I'm going to do. The train has just departed up to Rada, and so that means we are going to depart in completely a different direction. It's a beautiful blue sky day, as you can see down here in Cardiff, but the wind is really whispering, so I've got the lavalier mic on, hoping this is going to come out okay. My path this morning is going to be from here up the cutting up towards Tongwynlais, looking at relics along the way, and then at Tongwynlais looking at where the line went, because it's no longer there, looking at the station as was, and the tunnel, which also has long gone. It's going to be quite interesting to see where this line has been bisected along the way, hence why as we come across things, I'm going to cross it off on the map. It is 2 years since I filmed in the cutting up towards Coryton interchange, and it is going to be very interesting to see what's changed, because there has been some developments on that bit of the line, and certainly, well, you'll see some change. But first of all, I've got to get across that side of. No, I said last time I was here there is somebody sleeping underneath the bridge, and there is, so I'm not going to be able to look too closely to the bridge, but we are going to be heading across the road. So let's go. So when I came before, this was a park. These paths weren't here. It's interesting to see there's a path coming down there, and this one coming down here, and just beyond is the bridge with the gentleman sleeping. So I'm not going down there. It almost looks as though they converge and are heading that direction. I wonder if there's some plans to eventually put a path underneath the bridge. The track bed is this batch of trees and bushes here. And as I say, there has been some work going on down here, and there's a reason for that. But we will not go up this path. If we continue on, it very much brings us onto the old track bed of the Cardiff Railway, north of Coryton, and see if you can spot our first relic. If you can't, I'd be very worried. And no, it's not the birds. Straight on in the north suburbs of Cardiff, and here's our first bridge. Now, this was an occupation bridge. It was built purely and simply because there was a path here, and the Cardiff Railway were required to provide a way over their lines. And I think, as I mentioned in the introduction, what they built, they always built, was some star and a plum, dressed stone, blue brick, absolutely beautiful finish on what is just a bridge to take you, take the path across the line. It really is quite a smart bridge. Not the only one we're going to see today, but and remembering, by the way, if I just turn around and look back into the sun, there's the track bed there going straight on. We are literally just down from the road. There's houses up there. This is in the suburbs of Cardiff. This isn't, nice echo under the bridge as usual, yes. This isn't out in the middle of the countryside. We are in the suburbs of Cardiff. 2 years ago when I walked down here, well, I'm going to chuck some of the footage up so you can see what I was walking in. Because as you can see, it was muddy. There were trees down. It was boggy in places. It certainly took me quite a bit of time to walk the short stretch that I walked. Fast forward to today, and a lot of clearance has taken place. There is, I would say, it's been tarmacked, not to what I would say motorway standards, but what you'd call possibly a haul road in technical terms. Almost as if there's something going on down here. And well, to be fair, there is. When this was all built, turn of the century, or turn of the last century, I should say, it was built with a lot of hope that this would be a major coal traffic line, with some passenger services. But what this particular bit of the line saw was the passenger services and very, very little coal. Yes, it's on the route up to Nangarrow, and initially there were some works trains, possibly even one or two coal trains. But the amount of freight that came down here was nothing in comparison to the passenger traffic. Again, with the optimism that was built, this was built with double track. I walked up the line to Abertrwydr and Senghenith in a previous video, and that was single track all the way. And that was actually serving collieries that they knew were going to be served. This was built with the typical Cardiff Railway optimism in mind, with two tracks all the way up. So up ahead of us, you can see the reason why this track bed was cleared and the haul road has been put in. When I was here before, there was a big campaign to save the meadows. The meadows are up here, up above the top of the cutting, big green space, and on that they're going to build a cancer hospital. The Lindra Cancer Hospital already exists. This one's going to be a bigger, more extended version. And to get in, they had to build a new road, and the new roads come off the M4 junction 33 interchange down by the Asda supermarket, and has come over here, over this track bed, over a brand new bridge, which you can see up ahead. So let's take a closer look at this bridge. Modern stone, concrete, a metal deck with concrete on it. Same the other side. Functional, sleek. But hang on a second. This is a disused track bed. Why would you build a big bridge over and leave all this space? Doesn't make sense. Surely you'd fill it in as much as possible, maybe put a little path through to allow people through. Why has it been built like this? The answer is because potentially in the future, this line might actually see traffic again. This bit here from Coryton up as far as about here, they're talking about putting in a station for the Velindre Hospital. And then further up, linking up to where Asda is, junction 33, for park and ride. And in actual fact, when you look at the electrification maps, it shows those two stops are potential future extensions. As a result, you can get a 756 unit on batteries under here, no problem whatsoever. It says a lot about the future of this line. Anyway, back to the past, because there's another relic up ahead. So here we go. Another, believe it or not, another path. There's nothing major went across this bridge here, and it was just literally a path going from fields on one side, fields on the other. But again, Cardiff Railway do it in style. Really, really nice bridge. I mean, it's like 3 arches, 4 arches actually, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 arches, a small one over on the right hand side. And as part of the work that's been done, this has been tidied up. When I came down here before, there were actually chunks of masonry lying on the ground. I was a little bit worried about the future of this thing, but it is actually in really nice condition. When they built the line, it would have continued, but it doesn't. And by the way, another one of the things that's happened with the work that's been done, this is an image I took from when I was down here 2 years ago. You couldn't get down this bit at all. It was absolutely rammed. and yet it's all been cleared and felling's taken place, looking a lot clearer. And yet here's the daft thing, just up there is a road, and there's a van going down the road. It's Longwood Drive, and that has cut the track bed and completely stopped any potential future expansion. You could dig a tunnel, I suppose, but it'd be very difficult to do. Literally over the top there is Asda, and there is a path up here which we're going to take, because I'm going to tell you the story about the next part of the journey. But this continued on. I do keep looking out for bits of infrastructure, by the way, along the way. With all the clearance, is there anything seen? There was a telegraph post base down there. That seems to have gone completely. Can't find it anywhere. And it's a case of, I have to keep reminding myself that it was the 1950s all this was closed, and before that there was nothing ran down it passenger wise from about 1931. So realistically speaking, the chances of finding anything substantial down this bit are quite small. Right, I hate steps, I hate hills, you know that, but doesn't it give us a very nice view of the viaduct in the background? Just looking back down towards the new bridge, water dripping out of the drain. Looking back over there, at one point trains and rail cars were headed up that way towards Tongwynlais. So our bridge and our track bed is down there heading in that direction. Here's Longwood Drive. There's something else I want to show you down here, which is down here through the trees. Because, by the way, this area is just full of industrial archaeology. It's wonderful. This down here was the Glamorganshire Canal. Past the post, and there we go. That was a lock. I have featured it in a previous video. So you got a lock on the canal there, heading in that direction. You've got a railway heading in that direction. At some point, they're going to meet. And meet, indeed, they do. This image is taken by Ian L. Wright, the late photographer who documented an awful lot around the Glamorganshire Canal and railways around South Wales. It shows this lock, and it shows in the background a bridge. And if you look closely, you'll see a pier, you'll see a parapet, and then you'll see the bridge, and then another pier and another parapet. So somewhere they must exist. And in actual fact, right there. I'm trying to do this while not kill myself, because this is a little bit muddy down here. There's the canal. You can come through from the other side. Say Longwood Drive cut that in bit completely. And here we have, unfortunately someone's dumped a load of pallets down there. There's the pier, and there's the first parapet of the bridge. So we've gone over a bit of an angle and rested on this pier here. You can see, and I will try and get closer, but I'm not going to kill myself, as I'm sure you will appreciate. But sticking out of here, just there, there's a lump of metal, and there's quite a few all the way along this pier, and that is where the bridge would have been supported. So this is the one side, as I say, parapet the bridge. Railway would come over there, rested on this pier, over this canal, and just there is the second pier. And in actual fact, the best way to get a view of that is to go around the side. I say it a lot, and you're going to be bored of me saying it by the end of this series of videos, but the Cardiff Railway, when they built in style. This pier should, I mean, who's going to see this? Nobody. It's just literally going over a canal, and yet it's all done in dressed stone. Ooh, that's a tad muddy. But I need to get, because behind this is the other parapet. I'm not the only one to have come up here, which is interesting. There's a small footprint here as well. So yeah, pier and the second parapet. See if I can take this out slightly. There we go. And again, I've been up here before and filmed this before, but you can see just the archways that have been built in there. And I've been told there is, I'm trying to see if I can see it, up there is supposed to be in the stonework, a CR, or the date of the railway along here. But again, all beautifully done, all beautifully made, and going back quite a way, quite a substantial bridge. And you can possibly see up there, typical nothing's coming past now, that's the M4. This has been completely bisected. The canal there disappears through a hole. This then went onto an embankment and headed down towards Tongwynlais. This image, which was posted on one of the Facebook groups, shows that this bridge and that embankment, and you can see it disappearing off into the distance. Today, in order to get there, I've got to go round the M4. There is a bridge underneath it a bit further down, so we are going to deviate slightly off track, and I will join you on the other side. So I'm now back round the other side of the motorway. The motorway is up there, and one of the things I've noticed when people make videos and the like, and they say, oh, there's an embankment here, or there's a cutting here, it's actually very difficult to see. But I'm going to show you, because this is the embankment. Up here is where the trains would have run, and it would have continued. Obviously it's been cut out here, the motorway's up there, but this is the embankment that the railway would have run on. Someone has been up there and has told me there is absolutely nothing to see whatsoever. Now we'll get a better view around the corner because there is a little park and you can see the embankment a lot better from there. Just come around the corner, and I will just show you this, because I mentioned that the canal comes through the motorway as well, and this is it. It is now just literally I would say a muddy stream. Once a major route for getting coal down to Cardiff from up in the valleys, and today this is all that's left around in this particular area. The railway is to the left of me, Canal to the right. There's a song in there somewhere, isn't there? So this is probably where we get a bit of a better view of the embankment, just how high it is. Going down through this little park, and they're running in front of us. There's a big hill. I'm not climbing up there, but you can see it there. Yeah, I think this comes out on the video quite okay, even though I'm filming into the sun. So it's a lovely sunny day. There we go. See, all along there, that would have been the Cardiff Railway heading up north towards Tongwynlais and Taftswell. So I did say at the start of the proceedings that I would map out where roads and what have you have cut over the line. And so if you look here, you can see the railway coming up from Coryton, and there is Longwood Drive having cut off that bit, a very small bit in there where the canal bridge, the overbridge was, and then there's the M4. Now here's our embankment, and at the end of that embankment you will see not a lot left. The embankment would have continued onwards, and I think you can see by this traffic and these cars and this road sign what happened next. You see, as I mentioned in the introduction video, at the end of, from here onwards up to Taftswell, the line was completely destroyed. The canal and the railway line were just ripped up completely, and the A470 was built on it in the late 60s, early 70s. What was north of here was Tongwynlais station. It was a 2-platform station with a signal box and was built in quite a decent style. When it closed in 1931, all it saw was the odd bit of freight traffic, as these Ian Wright photos show quite clearly. And if we look on the map, just before it, there was a bridge over Iron Bridge Road. And that is exactly where I'm standing here. Oh, there's nothing this side, but there are things to see behind me. You can see it a lot better when you look on Google Maps and Google Street View from a few years ago. You can see this post here, which was part of the railway bridge. If we come around this side, and there it is, you can see down there. So this would have been the edge of that bridge, which would have gone right up. See the embankment up there, would have gone right up over there and headed up towards Tongwynlais station. So just north of Tongwynlais station, the railway passed over the Glamorganshire Canal again, and then it went through Tongwynlais tunnel. Now, I think I said in my introduction video, the rumour was, or the story went anyway, that the Marquis of Bute didn't want steam trains passing along that bit of line because it was too close to his vineyards in his holiday home, Castle Cock, which is still today up on the side of the hill. This painting by Gwynbrynad Jones, who was a local artist, railway photographer and historian, shows one of the rail cars with a trailer passing through the tunnel, and is one of the very few images of any sort that I've been able to find, certainly, showing a train actually going through that tunnel. The others show the tunnel with no tracks. Sub 1952, when the line was taken up, and before the 1960s, when it was completely demolished to make way for the A470. This image from Britain from the air shows not just Walnut Tree Viaduct, which dominates the image, but Castle Cock on the side of the hill. But down there in the corner, no rails, out of use, is the tunnel. When I was up here doing some photographs before, I met a gentleman who told me that his house backs on to where the railway and the canal used to be. And when they demolished Tongwynlais station, they literally dumped it into the canal. And he informed me that not only can he find puddling clay from the canal in his back garden, he's got no shortage of dressed stone that he digs up on a regular basis. They were in no hurry to preserve anything, it is fair to say. The tunnel and the line south of Taftswell, including Tongwynlais all the way down to Coryton, closed in 1952. It was used for storage of wagons for a bit, but it wasn't long before it was all ripped up. And the tunnel, today, there is absolutely no trace or remains of it whatsoever. When the A470 was built, a roundabout was put on top of it, which is still there today. And this image shows that brand new roundabout with no sign of the railway at all. Interesting enough, in the background, you can see the piers of Walnut Tree Viaduct, the Barry Railway Viaduct, with the top having been taken down, but the piers still in situ. From the end of that embankment, more or less into Taftswell, there is absolutely nothing left to see of the Cardiff Railway. And so that's where I'm heading next. The line snaked through Taftswell, there's no two ways about it. Over bridges, under bridges, goodness knows what. And I'm going to go up there, have a look and see what's left there now, and wander up past a couple of pretty major relics as far as Nantgarrow. So I hope you join me on this next journey up the Cardiff Railway. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell notification button, and until next time.